This portion of Motorsports Mania is brought to you by Phoenix International Raceway. Don't miss the NASCAR 2008 Sprint Cup Series debut under the lights at the Subway Fresh Fit 500, April 10th through the 12th.
Hey, welcome back to Motorsports Mania. Everybody knows how we roll. This is how we rock. Like any young hot rodder, tunes are very important when you're out cruising trying to impress the chicks. Glenn, tell me what came about for the 68 Camaro as far as the sound system.
Well, I approached Lance Baker back in January with an idea. I had a friend who is involved with Rockford Fosgate Corporation here in Tempe, Arizona, and Lance thought it was a great idea, so we approached Rockford about donating a system. And I actually went in kind of conservative initially, and Rockford insisted that we do full tilt. So we ended up with a 500-watt bi-amplified system. But my condition back to Rockford was it had to be completely hidden. So if you look inside the car, you really don't notice that there's a high-end stereo in this car. The rear deck, which has a 10-inch subwoofer and two 6x9s, is completely covered in black grill cloth, so everything is hidden. And the only thing you see up in the front of the car is two 4x6 speaker grills, which in fact the grills are reproductions of the original 1968 speaker grills. And behind those grills are Rockford Fosgate coax speakers. We have a vintage Soundstream deck as the head unit, so we didn't have to cut the dashboard at all. And then the centerpiece of the whole system is really the Rockford 360.2. That's an advanced electronic combination crossover signal processor equalizer that you set up via a Bluetooth connection on your Palm Pilot. You can set all your equalization, your time delays to your speakers. And the real beauty of it is it offers both a standard input and an iPod input. So we have an iPod hidden in the center console, and he can have his entire library of music with him at any time, obviously if he has a big enough iPod. So it's really a nice setup.
You know, from my standpoint, I grew up in the 60s. We had cars like this. If you would have told me you were going to put a sound system like that in, I would have thought you were talking to Captain Kirk, you know, in the Starship Enterprise. Let's take a look inside and actually see how all this works.
So the heart of the system is the Rockford 360.2, which is a fairly new piece. It combines a electronic crossover and equalizer and offers a Bluetooth connection so you can set everything up in advance and save it to the system, and then you don't have an equalizer hanging on your dashboard that people are going to constantly be messing with the controls on. So this is the main screen of the setup. This is just a standard Palm Pilot. I click on Tune System, and it pulls up an image of the car showing the 4 speakers and the subwoofer. As an example, if I click on the subwoofer, it shows me right now I've got a flat frequency response. I can click on crossover and show that I've got the crossover set at 200 hertz. The level is down just 3 dB to balance out the system. And then from here I can jump to a front speaker and see where the crossover frequency there. In this case we're running, looks like all pass right now, and the delay, and then there's an EQ setting for that as well.
With all those gadgets, I'm thinking that Glenn must have worked on the Starship Enterprise. Up next, we got a real Air Force guy that helped him out. His name's Steve. Out here having a great time with all these Camaro Club members. Steven Esposito, you were part of the sound system installation and everything that went on with this Project Camaro. Tell me what you did.
I helped Glenn out with all of the audio equipment, the head unit, and the speakers for the entire car.
That's right. You know, and Glenn talked about that before. Steven really wants to tell us about his Camaro. Let's hear from him.
Well, I have a 1968 Camaro SS convertible, and I have the 350 flavor engine with an electric fan and one-wire alternator. I've done most of the work myself. I installed front disc brakes as well as the 17-inch torque thruster 2s. I completely redid the paint job myself, painted on the SS stripes, and did some interior work, did custom embroidered seats as well as replacing all the door panels and electric windows. Did some rear work as well and have a 12-bolt rear with 308 gears on it, and it's my driver. I love driving it, I love working with the club, and it's great to be here in Arizona.
Always great to hear from our troops for sure. Stick around, because right after this break, we're talking to a few more guys that had hands on this project.